First contact, the Zephyrian arrival. The night sky over New Beijing glowed with an eerie blue light, casting long shadows across the gleaming metropolis. Dr. Amelia Chen stood on the observation deck of the Global Space Agency headquarters, her eyes fixed on the massive alien vessel hovering above the city. After centuries of wondering if humanity was alone in the universe, they finally had their answer. Dr. Chen, we're receiving a transmission, her assistant, Jake, called out from behind a bank of holographic screens. Amelia took a deep breath, steeling herself for what was to come. Put it through, she said, her voice steady despite the flutter of anxiety in her chest. The air in front of her shimmered, and a holographic figure materialized. The alien was tall and slender, with iridescent skin that seemed to ripple like water. Its large, almond-shaped eyes regarded Amelia, with what she hoped was curiosity rather than hostility. "Greetings, humans of Earth," the alien spoke, its voice a melodious trill that seemed to bypass her ears and resonate directly in her mind. "We are the Zephyrians, travelers from the stars. We come in peace, seeking to establish diplomatic relations with your world." Amelia exhaled slowly, relief washing over her. "Welcome to Earth," she replied, bowing slightly. "I am Dr. Amelia Chen, lead xenobiologist for the Global Space Agency. On behalf of humanity, we are honored to make your acquaintance." The Zephyrian tilted its head, a gesture that reminded Amelia of a curious bird. "We have observed your world for some time, Dr. Chen. Your species has shown remarkable resilience and ingenuity in the face of adversity. It is for this reason that we have chosen to reveal ourselves to you." As the conversation continued, Amelia learned that the Zephyrians were part of a vast galactic community comprised of hundreds of spacefaring civilizations. They had been watching Earth for decades, waiting for the right moment to make contact. In the days that followed, the world buzzed with excitement and trepidation. News of the alien arrival spread like wildfire, and governments scrambled to present a united front. The United Earth Council, a global governing body formed in the wake of the climate wars, took the lead in negotiations with the Zephyrians. Amelia found herself at the center of it all, serving as the primary liaison between humanity and their alien visitors. She worked tirelessly, coordinating teams of scientists, linguists, and diplomats to facilitate communication and cultural exchange. As weeks turned into months, the initial shock of first contact gave way to a cautious optimism. The Zephyrians shared glimpses of advanced technology that promised to revolutionize human society. Clean energy sources that could reverse centuries of environmental damage. Medical breakthroughs that could extend human lifespans and cure once incurable diseases. But not everyone welcomed the alien presence with open arms. Conspiracy theories ran rampant, fueled by fear and mistrust. Some claimed the Zephyrians were here to colonize Earth. Others insisted they were harvesting human DNA for nefarious purposes. Amelia did her best to quell these fears, appearing on news broadcasts and social media platforms to share the truth about their alien visitors. "The Zephyrians have been nothing but transparent and benevolent," she assured the public. "They're here to help us join the galactic community, not to conquer or exploit us." Despite her efforts, tensions continued to simmer beneath the surface of society. Amelia couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about the whole situation. The Zephyrians were unfailingly polite and helpful, but there was a certain guardedness to their interactions, as if they were holding something back. Her suspicions were confirmed one fateful night, 6 months after first contact. Amelia was working late in her lab, analyzing some Zephyrian biological samples, when her computer chimed with an urgent message. It was from Dr. Yuki Tanaka, her colleague at the Lunar Observatory. "Amelia, you need to see this," Yuki's holographic image said, her face pale with worry. "We've detected multiple large objects entering the solar system. They're not Zephyrian ships." Amelia's blood ran cold. "What are they?" she asked, dreading the answer. Yuki shook her head. "We don't know. But they're big, they're fast, and they're heading straight for Earth." As if on cue, alarms began blaring throughout the facility. Amelia rushed to the observation deck, her heart pounding. The night sky was alive with activity. Zephyrian ships were taking off en masse, their sleek forms streaking towards the stars. And in the distance, barely visible to the naked eye, she could make out a swarm of dark shapes descending upon the planet. Earth's first contact had been peaceful, but it seemed the second one would be anything but. As chaos erupted around her, Amelia realized that humanity's true test was just beginning. The Zephyrians had opened the door to a vast and wondrous universe, but they had also exposed Earth to dangers beyond imagination. Now, it was up to humanity to prove they were ready to face the challenges that lay ahead. Little did Amelia know, this was only the beginning of a story that would reshape the very fabric of galactic society, a story in which humanity would play a pivotal and unexpected role. The vast expanse of space had long been a source of wonder and speculation for humanity. For centuries we gazed at the stars, dreaming of what might lie beyond our reach. Little did we know that our first encounter with extraterrestrial life would forever change the course of human history. It was the year 2157 when the Zephyrian scout ship entered our solar system. Their arrival was met with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Humanity had finally achieved what many thought impossible. We had made contact with an alien civilization. The Zephyrians were a race of beings that appeared almost ethereal. Their translucent skin shimmered with bioluminescence, and their large, almond-shaped eyes seemed to hold the wisdom of the cosmos. They came in peace, or so they claimed, seeking to establish diplomatic relations with Earth. Dr. Elena Reyes, the newly appointed ambassador for humanity, stood before the United Nations, her voice steady as she addressed the assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, we stand at the precipice of a new era. The Zephyrians offer us knowledge beyond our wildest dreams, but we must proceed with caution. Our history has taught us that not all who come bearing gifts have pure intentions. As the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, humanity began to learn more about their cosmic neighbors. The Zephyrians shared glimpses of their advanced technology, faster-than-light travel, energy sources that could power entire planets, and medical advancements that could cure diseases thought incurable. But as humanity basked in the glow of newfound knowledge, whispers of discontent began to spread. Some humans felt that we were moving too fast, accepting too much without questioning the consequences. Others saw the Zephyrians as saviors, the key to solving Earth's most pressing problems. Captain Jack Harper of the newly formed United Earth Defense Force couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. As he patrolled the edge of the solar system in his state-of-the-art vessel, the UES Vigilant, he couldn't help but notice the increasing number of Zephyrian ships entering our space. "Command, this is Captain Harper," he reported. "I'm picking up anomalous readings near Saturn's rings. Request permission to investigate." "Permission granted, Captain," came the reply. "Proceed with caution." As the Vigilant approached the anomaly, Jack's worst fears were confirmed. Hidden within the rings of Saturn was a massive Zephyrian warship, its weapons primed and ready. Back on Earth, Dr. Reyes was in the middle of a heated debate with the Zephyrian ambassador, Zandar. "Your people promised transparency," she argued, her eyes flashing with barely contained anger. "Yet we've discovered your warships hiding in our system. Explain yourself." Zandar's usually serene features twisted into a sneer. "You humans are so naive. Did you really think we came all this way just to make friends? Your planet is rich in resources we need. We hoped you'd willingly share, but it seems we'll have to take what we want by force." As Zandar's words hung in the air, alarms began to blare throughout the United Nations building. Outside, the sky darkened as hundreds of Zephyrian ships descended upon major cities across the globe. In orbit, Captain Harper watched in horror as the massive Zephyrian warship emerged from its hiding place. "This is Captain Harper to all Earth defenses," he barked into the comm. "We are under attack. I repeat, we are under attack." As chaos erupted on the surface, humanity faced its greatest challenge yet. The technology gap between Earth and the Zephyrians seemed insurmountable. Our weapons barely scratched their shields, while their energy weapons tore through our defenses like paper. Dr. Reyes found herself trapped in the UN building as Zephyrian ground troops began to pour into the streets of New York. She knew that the fate of humanity now hung in the balance. As she watched the alien ships darken the sky, a fierce determination took hold. "We may be outgunned," she muttered to herself, "but humanity has faced extinction before. We've survived ice ages, plagues, and our own destructive nature. We will not go quietly into the night." As the first day of the invasion drew to a close, the situation looked bleak. Major cities around the world lay in ruins, millions were dead or missing, and Earth's military forces were in disarray. But in the face of overwhelming odds, pockets of resistance began to form. In underground bunkers and hidden facilities, the best minds of humanity worked tirelessly to find a way to fight back. They pored over the technical data the Zephyrians had shared, looking for weaknesses, for any edge that could turn the tide. Captain Harper, his ship battered but still functional, rallied the remaining space forces. "We may be outnumbered and outgunned," he told his fellow captains, "but we have something the Zephyrians don't, the unbreakable human spirit. We fight not just for ourselves, but for every human being on that blue marble below. We fight for our very existence." As the Zephyrian invasion force prepared for what they thought would be a swift victory, they were about to learn a harsh lesson. Humanity, when pushed to the brink, was capable of extraordinary things. The war for Earth had only just begun, and mankind was ready to show the galaxy why you should never underestimate the human race. The first shots of resistance were fired not by soldiers, but by ordinary citizens. In the ruins of London, a group of university students managed to hack into a Zephyrian communication node. The information they gleaned was quickly disseminated to resistance cells around the globe. Meanwhile, in the mountains of Colorado, a team of scientists led by Dr. Samantha Chen made a breakthrough. "The Zephyrian shields," she explained to her colleagues, her eyes bright with excitement despite days without sleep. "They operate on a frequency we can disrupt. It's not much, but it's a start." As dawn broke on the second day of the invasion, humanity began to rally. The Zephyrians, expecting an easy conquest, found themselves facing a species that refused to go quietly into the night. The war for Earth had begun in earnest, and the galaxy was about to learn why humans were a force to be reckoned with. The Galactic Council's ultimatum. The Nexus, a colossal space station at the heart of the Milky Way, bustled with activity. Thousands of alien species, each more bizarre than the last, crowded its winding corridors and cavernous chambers. At the center of it all stood the Hall of Convergence, where the fate of civilizations was decided. Ambassador Zara Vega, Earth's first representative to the Galactic Council, strode purposefully towards the hall. Her iridescent smart fabric suit, a gift from the Zephyrians, shifted colors with each step, mimicking the diversity of life around her. Despite her calm exterior, Zara's mind raced. The events of the past year had been a whirlwind, and now everything hung in the balance. As she entered the Hall of Convergence, a hush fell over the assembled delegates. Hundreds of eyes, tentacles, and sensory organs of all descriptions turned to regard her. Zara took her place at the human podium, a small island in a sea of alien diversity. High Counselor Xylith, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline matrix, floated to the center of the chamber. Its voice reverberated through the hall, translated instantly into the native language of each species present. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council, we convene today to address the Terran crisis," Xylith announced. "The arrival of the Voidborn in Earth's solar system has forced our hand. We must decide the fate of humanity and their world." Zara's grip tightened on the podium. The Voidborn, a mysterious and terrifying force that consumed entire civilizations, had appeared in Earth's solar system mere months after first contact with the Zephyrians. Only the swift action of the Galactic Defense Fleet had prevented an immediate invasion. "The Terrans are an unproven species," declared Ambassador Krex of the militant Taurian Empire. His chitinous exoskeleton clicked as he gesticulated wildly. They possess no significant spacefaring capability. Their inclusion in galactic affairs puts us all at risk. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber. Zara felt a bead of sweat trickle down her spine. She knew this moment was coming, but the reality of it was still overwhelming. With all due respect, Ambassador Krex, Zara began, her voice steady despite her nerves, humanity has faced extinction-level threats before and prevailed. We've overcome climate catastrophes, resource wars, and near-nuclear annihilation. Our adaptability and resilience are our greatest strengths. Pretty words, scoffed Krex, but they mean nothing in the face of the void-born threat. The Taurian Empire moves to quarantine the Sol system, cut them off from the galactic community for their own protection, and ours. Before Zara could retort, another voice chimed in. Perhaps there is another way. All eyes turned to Ambassador Laurier of the Zephyrians. We have observed the humans closely. While technologically behind many council races, they possess unique qualities that may prove valuable in our fight against the Voidborn. High Councillor Xylit's crystalline form pulsed with interest. Elaborate, Ambassador Laurier. The Zephyrian's liquid metal skin rippled as she spoke. Humans have an unprecedented capacity for innovation under pressure. Their neural pathways form connections in ways we've never seen before. This allows them to conceive solutions that even our most advanced AI cannot predict. Zara blinked in surprise. This was the first she'd heard of such findings. Furthermore, Laurier continued, human emotions, while often seen as a weakness, can be a tremendous source of strength. Their capacity for hope, even in the darkest circumstances, is remarkable. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of debate. Some delegates dismissed the Zephyrians' claims as wishful thinking, while others argued for giving humanity a chance to prove itself. As the arguments raged, a new hologram materialized in the center of the chamber. It showed a massive voidborn vessel, its surface an ever-shifting pattern of darkness, approaching a populated world. Esteemed delegates, Xylith's voice cut through the chaos. While we debate the voidborn advance, we must reach a decision. The High Councillor turned its attention to Zara. Ambassador Vega, the Council presents humanity with an ultimatum. You have one galactic standard year to demonstrate your species' value in the fight against the Voidborn. Succeed, and Earth will be granted full membership in the Galactic Council, with all the protection and benefits it entails. Zara's heart raced. And if we fail? Shilith's crystalline form dimmed slightly. Then the Sol system will be quarantined, cut off from all contact with the galactic community. Earth will be left to face the Voidborn alone. The weight of billions of lives settled on Zara's shoulders. She straightened her back, meeting the gaze of every alien delegate in the room. We accept your challenge, High Councillor. Humanity will prove its worth, not just to the Council, but to the entire galaxy. As Zara left the Hall of Convergence, her mind whirled with the enormity of the task ahead. She had 1 year to rally humanity, to push the boundaries of innovation and courage further than ever before. The fate of Earth, and perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. Little did the Council know, this ultimatum would set in motion a chain of events that would forever change the balance of power in the cosmos, with humanity at the center of it all. The galactic stage and human diplomacy. The Zephyrian invasion of Earth had inadvertently thrust humanity onto the galactic stage. As news of the conflict spread across the cosmos, other alien civilizations watched with growing interest. The universe, it seemed, was not as united as the Zephyrians had led humanity to believe. Dr. Elena Reyes found herself in an unexpected position. Having escaped the ruins of New York through a series of underground tunnels, she emerged in a secret facility deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. Here, she discovered that Earth had an ace up its sleeve, a prototype faster-than-light ship, reverse-engineered from Zephyrian technology. We call it the Phoenix, General Zhang explained, his weathered face illuminated by the ship's sleek, iridescent hull. It's our best shot at turning this war around. Elena's mind raced with possibilities. If we can reach other civilizations, maybe we can find allies. The Zephyrians can't be the only power out there. Within hours, a crew was assembled. Captain Jack Harper, having narrowly escaped the destruction of his ship, was chosen to pilot the Phoenix. Dr. Reyes would serve as Earth's ambassador to the stars. As the Phoenix prepared for launch, the crew received a startling transmission. It came not from Earth, but from deep space, encoded in a language that took their computers hours to decipher. "People of Earth," the message began, "we are the collective of free worlds. We have observed your struggle against the Zephyrian Empire. Your resistance has not gone unnoticed. If you seek allies, follow these coordinates." With Earth's fate hanging in the balance, the Phoenix launched, slipping past the Zephyrian blockade using a revolutionary cloaking technology. As they engaged the FTL drive for the first time, the crew felt the weight of humanity's hopes on their shoulders. Their destination was a space station hidden in the nebula of a dying star. As they docked, Elena and Jack were greeted by a diverse assembly of alien species. Some were humanoid, others defied easy description, but all regarded the humans with a mixture of curiosity and respect. The leader of the collective, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline structure, addressed them. "We are impressed by your species' tenacity. Few have stood against the Zephyrian Empire and lived to tell the tale." Elena stepped forward, her voice steady despite her awe. "We come seeking aid. Earth stands on the brink of annihilation." The crystalline being pulsed with light. "Aid we can provide, but at a cost. The Zephyrians must be stopped, not just for Earth's sake, but for the galaxy's. We propose an exchange, our technology and support for your unique abilities." "Unique abilities?" Jack asked, his hand instinctively moving to his weapon. A holographic display flickered to life, showing footage of Earth's resistance. Humans using improvised weapons to take down Zephyrian walkers. Civilian hackers disrupting alien communications. Scientists jury-rigging Zephyrian tech into defensive systems. "Your species possesses an adaptability we have never seen before," the being explained. "You think in ways that defy conventional logic. This, chaos, could be the key to defeating the Empire." Elena and Jack exchanged glances. The offer was tempting, but they couldn't shake the feeling that they were trading one potential overlord for another. "We appreciate your offer," Elena said carefully, "but Earth won't trade its freedom for security. We're willing to ally ourselves with the collective, but as equals, not subordinates." A murmur ran through the assembled aliens, the crystalline being pulsed rapidly, its light shifting through a spectrum of colors. Finally, it spoke. "Your courage is admirable. Very well, we shall treat as equals. But know this, the path ahead will not be easy. The Zephyrians are but one of many threats in this galaxy." As negotiations proceeded, Jack pulled Elena aside. "I don't trust them," he whispered. "This feels too convenient." Elena nodded. "I agree, but right now, they're the best shot Earth has. We'll proceed cautiously." Over the next few days, the humans were introduced to technology beyond their wildest dreams. Weapons that could pierce Zephyrian shields, communication systems that operated across vast distances instantaneously, and defensive systems that could protect entire planets. But more valuable than the technology was the information. The collective provided a comprehensive database on the various species and political factions of the galaxy. The humans learned of ancient rivalries, complex alliances, and hidden agendas that spanned millennia. As Elena pored over the data, a plan began to form. "The Zephyrians aren't invincible," she told Jack. "They have enemies, rivals who would love to see them fall. If we can turn these factions against each other..." Jack grinned. "Divide and conquer. It's a human specialty." With the collective's resources at their disposal, Elena and Jack began a whirlwind tour of the galaxy. They met with species so alien that communication seemed impossible, yet somehow, they always found common ground. To the warlike Croax, they appealed to their sense of honor, painting the Zephyrians as cowards who attacked weaker species. To the mercantile Vex consortium, they offered exclusive trade rights with Earth once the war was won. To the enigmatic Void Dancers, they presented the conflict as a grand cosmic dance, one in which their participation could shift the very fabric of reality. Each meeting was a delicate balance of diplomacy, cunning, and sometimes outright deception. Elena found herself pushing the boundaries of her moral comfort, but the stakes were too high for hesitation. As their coalition grew, so did hope for Earth's survival, but with each new ally came new complications. Old rivalries threatened to tear their fragile alliance apart. Cultural misunderstandings led to near disasters, and always there was the looming threat of Zephyrian retaliation. Back on Earth, the Resistance fought on. Bolstered by technology smuggled in by the Phoenix on its periodic returns, humanity began to turn the tide. Zephyrian strongholds fell one by one. The invaders, once so confident in their superiority, found themselves facing an enemy that seemed to grow stronger with each defeat. But victory was far from assured. The Zephyrians, realizing the true threat humanity posed, began to escalate the conflict. Reports reached the Phoenix of horrific weapons being deployed, entire cities wiped off the map in an instant. As Elena and Jack prepared for their final push, a massive multi-species assault on the Zephyrian homeworld, they received a transmission from Earth. It was Dr. Samantha Chen, her face gaunt with exhaustion, but her eyes burning with triumph. "We've done it," she said, her voice barely containing her excitement. "We've cracked their genetic code. The Zephyrians are not what they seem." There. The transmission cut off abruptly. Elena and Jack shared a look of concern. Whatever Dr. Chen had discovered, it was clear the Zephyrians didn't want it known. As the coalition fleet assembled, ready to launch the largest military operation in galactic history, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that they were missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. The true nature of their enemy, and perhaps the key to ultimate victory, lay hidden on Earth. The final battle loomed, and the fate of not just humanity, but the entire galaxy hung in the balance. As the Phoenix prepared to lead the charge, Elena made a decision. "We need to split up," she told Jack. "You lead the fleet. I'm going back to Earth." Whatever Dr. Chen discovered, it could change everything. As they parted ways, neither Elena nor Jack knew if they would ever see each other again. But they were certain of one thing: win or lose, the galaxy would never be the same again. The Quantum Nexus Initiative. The abandoned Cheyenne Mountain complex, once a relic of Cold War paranoia, now hummed with renewed purpose. Deep within its reinforced chambers, Earth's brightest minds had gathered for what many considered humanity's last hope, Project Quantum Nexus. Dr. Aisha Patel stood before a holographic display, her dark eyes scanning the web of equations and schematics that danced in the air. "The theory is sound," she muttered, more to herself than to the room of anxious scientists and military personnel. "But the energy requirements are astronomical." General Marcus Steele, a grizzled veteran of the resource wars, stepped forward. "Doctor, we're running out of time. The Voidborn have already consumed 3 outer colonies. Earth is next." Aisha's fingers danced through the hologram, manipulating variables with practiced ease. "I understand the urgency, General, but what we're attempting here goes beyond anything humanity has ever conceived. We're not just bending the laws of physics, we're rewriting them." The Quantum Nexus was humanity's moonshot, a desperate gamble born from the fusion of alien technology and human ingenuity. The goal: to create a network of quantum-entangled nodes throughout the solar system, allowing for instantaneous communication and, theoretically, matter transportation across vast distances. As the team worked tirelessly, news from the front lines grew increasingly dire. The Galactic Council's meager aid was barely holding back the Voidborn tide. Humanity's year was nearly up, and failure meant certain doom. Months of sleepless nights and breakthrough after breakthrough led to this moment. Aisha stood before the first Quantum Nexus node, a pulsing orb of energy suspended in a magnetic field. Initiating quantum entanglement, she announced, her voice steady despite the tension in the room. The node flickered, then stabilized. A cheer went up from the assembled team, but Aisha's celebration was cut short by an alarm blaring through the complex. "We've got incoming," shouted a technician. "Multiple Voidborn ships have breached the outer defense grid." General Steele's face hardened. "We're out of time. Dr. Potel, can your Nexus do what you promised?" Aisha hesitated for a split second before nodding. "Theoretically, yes, but we haven't tested." "There's no time for tests," Steele interrupted. "Do it." With trembling hands, Aisha initiated the full Quantum Nexus protocol. Across the solar system, hidden nodes sprang to life, creating a web of quantum entanglement that encompassed Earth and its colonies. As the Voidborn ships entered orbit, something unprecedented occurred. The quantum web pulsed, and suddenly, every human mind in the solar system was connected in a vast, collective consciousness. The sensation was overwhelming. Billions of thoughts, memories, and emotions flooded through the network. But amidst the chaos, a singular purpose emerged: survival. In that moment of unity, humanity achieved what the Galactic Council had thought impossible. The collective consciousness of Earth reached out through the quantum web, touching the very fabric of space-time itself. Reality rippled. The Voidborn ships, caught in the quantum disturbance, began to disintegrate. Their matter-consuming technology, turned against them by the sheer force of human will channel through the Nexus, tore them apart at the subatomic level. As quickly as it began, the connection faded. Across Earth and its colonies, humans found themselves back in their own minds, but forever changed by the experience. In the Cheyenne Mountain complex, Aisha slumped to the floor, exhausted but triumphant. "We did it," she whispered. General Steele helped her to her feet, his usually stoic face etched with awe. "Dr. Pertol, I think you just rewrote the book on warfare, and possibly the nature of human consciousness itself." As news of Earth's miraculous defense spread, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Ambassador Zara Vega stood before them once more, but this time with newfound confidence. "Esteemed members of the Council," she began, her voice resonating through the Hall of Convergence, "humanity has not only proven its worth, but has unveiled a power that could change the course of the war against the Voidborn." The chamber buzzed with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. High Counselor Solit's crystalline form pulsed rapidly. "Explain, Ambassador. What exactly has your species done?" Zara smiled, a glint of pride in her eyes. "We've unlocked the potential of the human mind, harnessing it through quantum entanglement to manipulate the very fabric of reality. The quantum nexus is just the beginning. With time and resources, we believe we can expand this technology to protect not just Earth, but the entire galaxy." As the implications of her words sank in, the Council erupted into chaos. Some delegates called for immediate sharing of the technology, while others warned of the dangers of such power in the hands of a young species. Amidst the uproar, Ambassador Laurier of the Zephyrians approached Zara. "You've surprised us all, human," she said, her liquid metal skin rippling with what Zara interpreted as admiration. "But be warned, with great power comes great responsibility and great danger. The galaxy will be watching Earth very closely from now on." Zara nodded sullenly. "We understand the weight of our discovery, Ambassador. Humanity stands ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead, not just for our own survival, but for the good of all sentient life." As the Council debated humanity's new role in galactic affairs, Zara couldn't help but feel a mix of pride and apprehension. The quantum nexus had saved Earth, but it had also catapulted humanity onto a much larger stage. The true test was just beginning.